So are you one of those golfers who gets incredibly frustrated, particularly with your iron shots, because you stand over the golf ball and then you fat it, thin it, or worse still, cold top it 5 yards? Well, the biggest difference between the best ball strikers and most of you guys watching is a very quick 2-second tip at address that will transform your ball striking. Did you see what it was? Well, in today's video, we're going to work on this little change that's going to help you control your low point, strike the ball better, and really get you hitting some fantastic golf shots. Right, so when I watch most club golfers, amateur golfers set up to the golf ball, I've got a 7-iron in my hand, and most golfers will say that they want the ball pretty much in the middle of the stance, maybe slightly forward, but I'm going to stay fairly central for now. Now, when we hit a good golf shot, what we need to happen is that as we swing, we obviously want that ball and then ground contact, and we can see on TrackMan there that fairly near the middle of the club face, but my low point's been 1.6 inches ahead, so the club's travelled down 1.8 degrees. Now, every good ball striker in the world controls that low point so it's ahead of the golf ball. And I have done a number of videos on this lately, but this is very much something about how changing your address position can't guarantee that you're going to do it perfectly every time, but gives you the best opportunity. Now, when I watch most golfers set up to the golf ball, even if the ball position's good, they'll talk to me about how their weight is very much 50-50, very much as they stand day to day. Now, the thing is, when I watch most golfers, they're not actually 50-50. They tend to get a little bit more weight on this back leg. And a really great way of checking this is when you're in your address position, bring your club up and just hang it on your sternum. And you can see if I hang that down there, my sternum's actually behind the golf ball. Now, I'm not saying I won't get my low point ahead, but I'm already setting up behind. So it becomes very, very easy that as golfers swing back, the weight moves onto that right side. They then don't get back across early enough. They either hit the ground back here, which is the fat shot, or they bottom out early, club travels up, and that's the thin or the top. And it is amazing. You know, I'm very lucky that I've got Body Track, which shows that. But I also tested a bit of kit probably about 12 months ago that you can actually get yourself and use at home. So I'm going to pop the card up in the corner about that, because what we're going to talk about is sometimes tough to feel. And I do think the better your feedback, the quicker you improve. So what I'm going to get you to try is that you're going to set up feeling like you're 50-50, but then I want you to feel like you're going to get 60 or 65% pressure on that lead foot to begin with. And again, we're going to use that little drill that I'm 50-50, that's behind. As I move more onto my left foot, you can see now how that drops down ahead of the golf ball. So even for me, when my ball striking drops off, definitely see my pressure getting back onto that trail foot. So we're going to set up, we're going to feel like the sternum moves slightly ahead of the golf ball. I can definitely feel my left foot pushing more into the ground. And I'm just going to hit a shot from there and see how that feels. So felt very solid. We can see there, low point now 3.8 inches ahead. Clubs travelled down 4.6 degrees. So definitely ball and then ground contact. But still, for a lot of you guys watching, you might say, even though I'm setting up there, I'm still hitting those bad shots. But I'll almost guarantee just that little quick change, probably, to be fair, under 2 seconds, move that sternum ahead, straight away, that'll change the way you strike the golf ball. You can get there. Again, very solid. 4 inches ahead, a little bit towards the heel with the strike, but we can see now more and more consistent with that low point, good accuracy, and a very consistent distance. Now, let's say you are somebody, though, that even with that little change at address, It's improved the strike, and hopefully you're working through the video as we go. But you say, this is great, and I am hitting more good shots, but there's still too many where I bottom out early, hit halfway at the ball, or hit the top of the ball. Now that then might come down to actually how you try and move your weight in your swing. So we've already made the change of feeling a bit more pressure and a bit more weight in that left foot or that lead foot. Unfortunately, a lot of golfers will then stand there and say, yes, but I need to then transfer my weight in my golf swing. Now you see the challenge. I'm set up well. As I transfer my weight, all of a sudden, I'm way behind the golf ball. So unless I make a huge movement back, which you will do from time to time, you're going to hit the ball poorly. And depending on how much movement, becomes even more challenging to time. So what we're now going to work on is from that little change at address, when we go into our backswing now, we want that trail hip to just turn back behind us. So straight away now, my pressure has started to shift, but I'm not moving off the golf ball. So because the movement's smaller, it's easier for you to be consistent. So we're going to turn that trail hip back behind. You can see how I now stay more in line with the golf ball, which is great. You know, I'm not staying on my left side. There is definite pressure into that right leg. And then from there, I push down into my lead foot, move slightly towards the target. That's going to get me after the golf ball. It's going to get that shaft leaning forward nicely and really strike that iron purely. So we've got a little thought at address, a bit more weight onto that lead foot. Going to turn back and then shift towards the target. A little bit handsy through the bottom for me, but a good strike. Again, 3.9 inches ahead. Club travelling down 4.4 degrees. That one's gone a bit further. Probably a little bit of a low spin shot, to be fair. But I know even for me, that's something I need to be more consistent with. Because like I said, when I get a little bit lazy, I definitely don't feel as much pressure into that lead foot, and my shot becomes good and solid. But we can see my low point's only 1.7 inches ahead. The club travels down less. And this is with a 7-iron when the ball's in the middle. So you can appreciate, as the ball moves further forward with the longer clubs, you can see where my inconsistency could creep in. But let's get that sternum slightly ahead. Let's turn back, shift towards target. And that felt absolutely perfect. Thought the low point would be a little bit better there, but I'd take that shot all day long. And at 160 carry, pretty much on the number for my 7-iron. But so many golfers worry about lots of parts of their golf swing. And honestly, that little change, all the best ball strikers in the world, when the ball's on the floor, have more pressure in that front foot. They're never 50-50, and they're definitely never on that trail foot. So if you can get that pressure on that lead foot and then feel that you stay more centered and then shift, guarantee you're going to hit ball and then turf. Might not be perfect every time, but it'll be so much better than before you started watching this video. So I hope you've worked through the video with me. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's another video just there that hopefully will help you with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.